All right, good afternoon.
Let's start. Okay. Welcome everyone to the live session, and thank you everyone for joining us. We hope everyone is doing well, and we also hope that participating in the English pronunciation in a global world has been a good experience, and that uh, it has offered you all a safe and inclusive space to learn. Currently, over 100,000 sorry, 135,700 people from all over the world have joined the course, and it has been lovely to see how everyone is learning and interacting with each other. And it has been a joy to read all of your posts. And today's live session with our educators and mentors is meant for you to see who is working on the course behind the scenes and to answer some of the questions and go over the insightful comments that all of you have posted. Um, and we will also award a participant in the course with a prize for posting one of the most valuable comments in the course. And before we continue the live session, I'd like to take a moment for everyone to introduce themselves.
Okay, shall I start? So, my name is Laura Rupp. I'm a senior lecturer in English Language and Linguistics at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. I teach regular courses at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam, and I'm in the English department. So they have to do with English, and very much also they have to do with variation in English. For example, I teach a course that is called Global English, which is about the spread of English around the world and the linguistic and the social consequences of that spread. I also teach a course that is called Postcolonial Language and Literature, and a regular pronunciation course. In addition to that, I've created some years ago this online course, English Pronunciation in a Global World, and we have been running that course since. Thank you.
I'm Amanda. I am a third year Communication and Information Studies student at the Vrije Universiteit van Amsterdam. And I'm also a mentor in the MOOC. And I also took Laura's course in my second year, Global English. And it was a very insightful foundational course in understanding just how languages work, and my main focus was intelligibility, and I found that really interesting. Yeah. And so that is a little bit about me.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a third year bachelor student at the Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. I recently joined the MOOC as a coordinator of the MOOC and the Mentor program. And I also took the Global English course, and that made me decide to take a minor in linguistics as well.
Mm.
That's
Yes.
about me.
Whilst you are a literature student.
Yes.
Yes, and Sophie has been doing a great job helping me running the MOOC, very much so. And we also have two special guests today from outside Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. So I would first like to for everyone to meet Gina Ward. Gina, could you introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. I'm Gina. I'd first like to thank Laura for inviting me to attend this live session today, and to thank also her team members for doing all the work behind the scenes. I'm originally from the Caribbean. Now I'm in at Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. I'm doing a PhD in education with a specialization in applied linguistics. I taught ESL, English as a second language and English as a foreign language for 15 years at language centers and universities in France, Indonesia, and the Caribbean. I also taught French as a second language for 5 years. And I always say that I've been lucky to teach learners from the ages of 3 to 83.
Mm. So I think, Gina, your connection is has gone. So I'm sure that Gina will get back into the meeting, and I would first like to welcome our other special guest, Inessa Orkova. Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me for today's session. Hello, everyone. I'm Vanessa, and I live in Ukraine. And I work at the Kharkiv Karazin University as a manager at the International Relations Office. I don't know, a little preview about English in my life. Is it interesting? My interest in the language became back in school. At that time, we started learning English from the 5th grade. And, the post-Soviet Union, this school program was quite weak. And it wasn't enough to build strong language skills. So in this way, English became a hobby my life for all my life, I think. And I study even now step by step by small pieces. And as for this course, I joined this MOOC course. I joined this course thanks for Professor Laura. Thank you very much. She offered me this course after I completed the Global English course as a non-diploma student. So actually, I'm really happy to study, to have an opportunity to grow professionally and personally. And finally, I'm really happy to connect with all of you today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So very welcome, Inessa. And yeah, so we will come back to this later. But indeed, we invited you to later on during this session to also share some experiences, if you would like your experiences in the
Thank
course.
you.
All right.
That's great. That will be great. Would be great. Thank you.
So thank you for your introductions.
Yes, and we will be addressing some of the questions and comments raised by the participants in the course. And Laura will also be keeping an eye on the live session in case there are any questions there. Yeah.
I will start with the first comment. Someone named Chisum Okpe wrote, this week was eye-opening for me. I learned that intelligibility is more important than accent, and that English accent can be very different but still understandable. I also discovered how rhoticity changes the way people pronounce words like car or father. I used to think my Nigerian English accent was a disadvantage, but now I see it just another variety of English. What really matters is clarity. My goal is to keep improving stress and vowel length so my students and others can understand me better. And then lastly, one thing I still struggle with is connected speech. I can follow single words more easily than fast sentences. In the coming weeks, I look forward to practicing this more and speaking more naturally.
Yeah, so I would like to thank the participant very much for this comment. Yeah, I was actually a little bit moved by it when the participant said, I used to think my Nigerian English accent was a disadvantage. And it made me really very happy that they see that it is just another variety of English. From the comment, I also understand that the participant is a teacher. I'm not sure that they're teaching English, And so I know from conferences I've been to, or conversations that I had with English teachers, that there are actually many non-native speakers of English who are teachers who feel inhibited teaching pronunciation because they feel bad about not having like a native like English accent or pronunciation. But I think that one of the advantages that you have being a non-native speaker of English is that you've self gone through the process of learning English and realizing the aspects of English pronunciation that that were difficult for you and that may therefore be difficult for other learners of English. So it really, I'm very happy that this comment was selected for this session. It made me, like I said, very happy that that people using the course, that they start differently regarding their English pronunciation, so more accepting of it, but still wanting to develop particular aspects of the pronunciation that could potentially be difficult to understand for other English speakers. So I would like, as I was saying, I would like to thank the participant for their comment, and I hope that many other participants in the course, that they've started feeling the same way regarding their English pronunciation. Amanda, you're muted.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
The second comment comes from Esma Goksu Okur, and they shared a lot of insightful information about their experience of the course, learning eroticity. But one thing that stands out is here where they say, I am still curious about how to decide which pronunciation features to prioritize for my own learning, given the many differences in English accents worldwide.
Yes, that is a very good question, and I can perfectly imagine, so in the course, but in any English pronunciation learning or learning another language, that you become aware of so many different pronunciation features, and it can be overwhelming to decide like which pronunciation feature should I work with or start working with in the first instance. And so I think it depends. It's difficult to give like an answer that applies to everyone. What we try to do in the course is that for everyone to figure out their own pronunciation goals, because they may use English or speak English on different occasions or for different purposes. Also, people will have different linguistic backgrounds. So what is maybe challenging for somebody with, let's say, Dutch native speaker background is not the same as somebody from Ukraine, for example, right? So that's why at the beginning of the course we try to help students figure out their pronunciation goals. So what is your native language? So what may therefore be features that are to work with in your English pronunciation? And also, what are your goals regarding English pronunciation? When do you think that you will speak English? So there's certainly some occasions where it may be useful or suitable to have a more, like, let's say, standard English pronunciation, and there may also be situations where that is less the case. For instance, I go to academic linguistics conferences, and people are happy to hear many different English pronunciations because that's also what they study, and they think it's natural. So it depends on the factors that I just mentioned. So your linguistic background, your goals in English pronunciation. Also, it may be that you just like particular English pronunciation features very much. So I sometimes have students in the class and they like particular American English pronunciation features because they're familiar with it, or They've heard it in people's speech and would like to have similar kind of features. And also sometimes I say to my students, there are some English pronunciation features that maybe they're not so important for intelligibility, but they're relatively easy to work with or to develop. And it's also nice to try to develop an English pronunciation feature that is not very hard, to begin with. So I think overall, I cannot give like one answer. It depends. It's for everyone, it's different. Yeah, so I was also wondering, Gina, because you said that you taught English, right, to people from various different age ranges. What would you say when somebody would ask you that question? So which pronunciation features to focus on?
Laura, I'm very sorry, my audio went and I didn't hear what the question was.
Oh, okay.
What you were saying before. I actually thought you didn't hear anything that I said because I noticed that I lost connection. So I'm sorry, my connection is very off today. I'll do the best that I can. But can you
Yes, so there was Esma was asking which pronunciation features should I focus on when learning English pronunciation, and I said it depends very much.
Yeah, for me, it depends a lot on your first language as well, what difficulties you have in your first language. And because certain groups have difficulties with some features that other language groups don't have. So yeah, I think it depends on your first language. For sure.
Yes. So thank you very much, Esma, for raising that question. I think it's a question that many students in the course think about. And as I mentioned, we hope to guide you towards working with the pronunciation features that fit your personal goals.
Then we have a comment from May. I have been facing mother tongue interference when I speak English, like many foreign people of other countries. That is such a struggle case, so that accurate and clear pronunciation is spoken when we learn English. When we want to express our words the way what we feel and mean, pronunciation is important. Therefore, I want to be clear and correct. My pronunciation, whatever my accent it is. I would love to understand others and vice versa, want others to understand my words. That is my strong and fundamental goal. Moreover, I want to improve my stress and intonation.
Okay, so thank you very much, May, for raising that question or that comment. What I like very much in your comment is that, what it expresses is that pronunciation or speaking, it's very much who we are, right? It's a fundamental part of us, the way that we feel and the meaning that we wish to convey. And I believe that it's certainly the case in the Netherlands that in English teaching, pronunciation is sometimes a little undervalued or it's not paid a lot of attention to, whereas it's indeed a very important factor in conversation, as you expressed in your comment. You also spoke about mother tongue interference, which we all have, as in case we are non-native speakers of English. So I also have some interference from my native language, Dutch. I believe, I cannot think of the word now, but I believe there's another word for it right now, transfer, right? Rather than interference, because interference, it has like a kind of like a negative connotation. Like interfering with maybe acquiring like correct English pronunciation or interfering with what we want to say. I'm not sure what your linguistic background is. I wanted to refer to the first comment raised that we selected and that I addressed. So someone who became more accepting of their particular English pronunciation. And in addition to that, I also wanted to say that the amount of influence from your native language that you're dealing with, it depends very much on how different your native language is from English. So, for example, in the Netherlands, so we speak Dutch, and Dutch is from the same language family group as English. And so they're relatively similar. Of course, there are a number of differences, but they are relatively similar. And so for somebody from the Netherlands, it's relatively straightforward. Yeah, it's still a challenge, but it's relatively straightforward to speak English. But for instance, people who are from particular regions in Asia, like I've had students in my regular pronunciation classes, but also in the MOOC, who are, for instance, from Vietnam or from Thailand, or from Japan, they speak languages that are so different from English. Yeah, so very, very different from English. I believe that like Vietnamese is like virtually the opposite, yeah, where language features are concerned from English. And therefore, yeah, I really admire people with those kind of linguistic backgrounds, yeah, how well they are able to speak English, given that their native language is so different. And so people with such linguistic backgrounds, I would never compare myself to somebody, let's say, from the Netherlands or from Germany, because yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, it's certainly not the same task, similar kind of task for everyone. And so yeah, I would like to suggest to be very proud, yeah, of your speaking English if your native language is so very different from English, and to be accepting, yeah, of some kind of influence from your native language.
Yep, I completely agree, of course. Our next comment comes from Saval, and this was a fairly popular comment. It got a lot of responses from other course members, and it says, "This page clearly explains that good pronunciation is not about sounding native, but about being clear, confident, and keeping your own identity. I really like that the focus is on intelligibility and credibility."
Yes. And then also I believe that other students in the MOOC commented on that comment, right?
Yeah. For example, we have Jennifer who said, "Yes, this is true. I feel like you have if you have a good pronunciation without to be or sound as native. So yeah, you don't have to sound native, and the most important thing is to other people is so that other people can understand your message, which is about intelligibility." Yeah. And Teofilo Domingos replied to that same comment and said, "At the end of the day, as non-native English speakers, our accent while speaking English is affected by the languages we spoke prior to learning English. So keeping it intelligible and credible is the key." Yeah.
Yes. So some very profound insights there, I think. And indeed, so it's like one of the main messages of the course, that in a world where so many people speak English and where we have so many different linguistic backgrounds, and where in one region there's more access to English than in another region, that's what is one of the main goals in English pronunciation, is to get your message across. So for others to understand what you're conveying in English. And not so much as what was said in these comments, for us to try to speak like English native speakers. It's very difficult. At any rate, also very difficult for me to try to speak completely like an English native speaker. So that it's indeed one of the tenets of the course. I would like to say that this is not still what is generally accepted in society. So in society you still see very much beliefs about language, beliefs about varieties of English. So that some varieties of English, especially what are like standard English and standard American, that these are the most appropriate or the most correct or most beautiful forms of English. As those kind of ideas are very much around. And it is of course true that for certain purposes, like academic writing, for instance, that we use some kind of standard English for all to write the same in academia, for instance. But it's not the case for speaking. But like I said, there's still these ideas about English pronunciation or English accent still very much around, and I'm very happy that also people in the course that they so students in the course that they express these insights or express their findings for these beliefs about English pronunciation or English accent, for these beliefs to change. So we have to do it step by step, and every little step will help. So students or participants in the MOOC course, they can also contribute to this. And what I also like very much about the comment is that people are discussing this matter amongst one another. So building on the comments that was made in the first instance. And I would like everyone in the MOOC, so not only the mentors, but also the participants in the MOOC, to have a look at what other people commented or what other people said, and to respond to that, because it's together that we gain insight, and that we can draw from one another's experiences and one another's linguistic backgrounds. And I also wanted to add that we as educators and as mentors in the MOOC, that we can very much learn from you. So some of you have linguistic backgrounds that I know unfortunately nothing about, because there's so many different languages spoken in the world. And so if you share with us, like, these are challenges, I have this kind of linguistic background, these are challenges for me, then I can use that information, I can use these details to develop the content in the course further. Or if you share with us, I've had these experiences speaking English, then we can also include these in the course to share them with the other students. So I believe this comment was, or this thread of comments was selected amongst other reasons because it shows very much how discussing topics in pronunciation together, how we can advance insights or findings. So thanks very much, all three of you, Seval, Jennifer and Dovelio.
And then it's time to move on to the last comment that we have selected. And this comment is actually by Inessa, who is with us today on Zoom. She wrote, one of my main goals for this course is not only to improve my pronunciation, but also to understand other people's pronunciation. In this way, I also hope to improve my listening skills with different English accents. Actually, that's my ultimate goal. And yes.
Yes. So this comment was also selected to be discussed in this live session. It wasn't selected by me personally, so it was selected by one of the other mentors in the course, without my knowledge. And so it was selected because Inessa, you wrote, so what is important is not only to develop your own English pronunciation, or that this is what you're aiming for, your own English pronunciation, but also to understand other people's pronunciation. So develop your listening skills. And that is sometimes forgotten in English pronunciation teaching. That is not only about us developing our English speaking, but also for us to develop our understanding other English speakers. And recently, for this reason, therefore, recently, so we included in the course also more activities having to do with listening skills. Because very frequently, also what I experience around me, sometimes students are sent to me at my university and said, oh, they should work with their English pronunciation because I cannot understand them very well. And so they should then develop, can you help them develop their English pronunciation? And then I also always say, well, you know, the people who are not understanding, they should also come to the class. And that so it should be like a joint effort, right? So very frequently the responsibility is put with the speaker. You should have particular English pronunciation because you should be understandable. And so you work with it. But it's very much also, so as I was saying, conversation is like a joint effort. We should also make effort or to find it important, right? To understand what the other person has to say. And also this relates back to what I was saying earlier, that for people with some linguistic backgrounds, it's so much harder to speak English because their native language is so different. So I feel especially if it's, as I was saying, relatively straightforward for you to speak English because your language is so similar, then to put in an effort to understand and to also to understand the way that the other person speaks English. And actually, Inessa, it's like relatively new, right? In pronunciation teaching, it is certainly acknowledged by linguists, but it's relatively new for pronunciation classes to also include listening exercises or to develop people's listening skills. And because you contributed this comment, not being a linguist or not having been to linguistic conferences, at every live session we award like a prize for like a very valuable comment that was made in the MOOC English Pronunciation in a Global World. And this time we would like to award the prize to you. Yes. Thanks so much for making this comment, for contributing this comment. And so we're awarding the prize for the most valuable comment in the current iteration of the MOOC to you. And we will be in touch about it with you. Yes, but thank you very much for sharing this. And so we continue to explore in what other ways we can include listening in the online course, MOOC English Pronunciation in a Global World also.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
It's an honor. I'm really honored. Thank you.
We would love to hear what your experience was like during the course, Inessa. Just to share a little bit about your time in there and how you found the course.
Please, Amanda, tell me again because I just skip
of course. We would love to just to hear a little bit about what your experience was like in the course. How you found it, the information. Yeah, just to hear a little bit about that.
Okay. So I don't found. I didn't found this course, as I told already. This course kindly offered me Laura after I completed global English course, and I was really happy actually. Yes, when Laura wrote me. Sorry, I a little bit nervous.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely fine, Inessa.
I know I make mistakes, but because this course, it's big. Not even big. That's great opportunity for me to listen, to practice my listening skills, because this course includes so I don't know, very much, many information that I can't find this information in the internet. So I'm really happy. So thank you.
Yes.
But unfortunately I don't have much time to go through the course.
Yeah.
I did I do lessons slowly, about one lesson per day. But I decided I do it slowly but steadily. System is everything.
Exactly. And I think that's a good way to go about it, to do it regularly, rather than do a lot and then to not pay or to not work with it for a long time. Because it's a little bit like playing the piano, right? It's or musical instrument. It really needs practice, and we cannot think that things will have developed overnight. It really, yes, for me still also, it really needs practice. And so you said there is a lot of information in the course, or a lot of exercises, and I also wanted to express my appreciation to the other students in the course, also the participants, because some of the material has been based on input that we received from the participants. So it's really meant the course to be like a joint effort. Yeah, so we share with you the material that we have, and we're very happy for you, Inessa, but also for all of the other participants to share the material that you have. So to tell us about your experience, or to tell us about your experience speaking English, or experiences learning English pronunciation. Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Yes.
Inessa. I personally really enjoy reading your comments. They're always very insightful. Yeah. Okay, so moving through this live session, so the MOOC is always looking for participants to also become mentors in the course. Mentors can provide tailor-made feedback to participants who have a similar linguistic background. And this is very valuable for the course. So mentors in turn can obtain online teaching experience and can obtain a certificate after their mentorship. And if you're interested in applying to become a mentor, there is a mentor application on step 1.1 of the MOOC. And yeah, that is how you can go about becoming a mentor. You go to step 1.1 to apply. Yeah, and Gina, we would love to hear about your experiences being a mentor.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time as a mentor on the MOOC, and I really hope to come back again for another run soon. What I enjoyed is basically what was said earlier, that it's a community of learners, and even though I've studied phonology, there's a lot that I was learning while I was on the MOOC from students from first language backgrounds that I had never studied. For example, I'll always remember an Afghan speaker asked, what should they prioritize in pronunciation learning? And I was like, oh, I actually don't know. So I went to, I did a search, and I found out, I think it was the possessive S that certain Afghan speakers, because they're different language groups. This speaker was a Dari speaker, which I didn't know about either. So I learned a lot as well being on the MOOC. I think that you can give a lot of valuable support to learners, which is very rewarding as a language teacher or even as a language learner. And you also learn a lot. while you're doing it. So I really enjoyed it, and I think it's an extremely valuable resource. I think if there are any teachers out there listening, that it's great to incorporate into your teaching, because it's a fully built program, and encourage students in classes to use it. And any students who are taking it on their own for self-study, I would really encourage you, put aside the time. As Inessa said, she did it slowly and steadily. It does need slow, steady work. But for you to make it through the 4 weeks of the course, I think you really need to say to yourself, these 4 weeks are dedicated to the pronunciation more, because it does require an investment in time. But the more you put in is the more you're going to get out of it. So that's my experience of being on the MOOC. Thanks again.
And Gina, you're also working on a PhD thesis using technology in pronunciation, teaching and listening. And we wanted to know if there are any pronunciation tools that could be useful for learners.
Sure. So there's a wide range of tools available online, but I would just talk about ones that can support the MOOC from my experience of being a mentor on the MOOC, and what I, based on student comments, what I thought would help them. And there are two technologies that can really help learners, and this can be as a complement to the MOOC or on your own. So there are two speech technologies. One is called text to speech, and that converts written text to speech. And there's also automated speech recognition, which, when you speak, the computer converts your speech into written text. Now, we're using these technologies every day. You have it on your personal assistant on your phone. That's how you communicate with it, with these two technologies. But based on these two technologies, I would like to recommend three tools that are available online. And the first one, basic one, is Google Translate, that you probably use a lot already, but just typing in words. Most people don't know that you can use the speech function. So I will try to share my screen with Google Translate to show you how we can use it. Why am I not seeing the Google Translate screen? Sorry. Oh. Why would that not be coming up? I just had it here. I'm doing research in tech, but I'm actually terrible with tech. Yeah. So I'm not sure why. Okay, you know what? I'll do it this way. I'll do it through slides that I had prepared. I think I can get to it
Yes.
that way. Yeah, let me see if I can get to it this way. Yep, there it is. Okay, so if, for example, you're a French speaker and you type in, you want to know the English for bonjour. So if you click on this little icon, the listen icon, you'll hear it. Are you hearing that on the live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very loud, but we can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is great for individual words and for short sentences. So good morning. How are you doing? So you can practice repeating this. You hear the speech and you practice it. So you have a model and you can practice, and you can practice as much as you want, which is the advantage of these tools, is that they give you a model that you can practice with as much as you want. There's no limitation in time. And as Laura was saying, any skill that you want to learn, it requires a lot of practice. And sometimes we don't realize that when we're learning a foreign language. We think, oh, I should be able to get it just like that. But anybody who's learned a language, it's hours and hours and hours of practice. So something like Google Translate, the voice feature, can really help you. There's also this other tool that I'd like to show you that is great for shadowing, which they talk about in the MOOC in week 4. So I think I can go to it directly here. So this is called Speechify. So this is the text-to-speech. Many people use it. What it does, you'll hear the text read aloud, so you can listen, pause, and repeat as often as you want. So I'll just click on the first voice that they have. Are you hearing that on the line?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is really great for shadowing, to build that practice and automaticity of listening as well. You're hearing and you have to hold the phrase in memory and repeat it. And you can do it as often as you want. Sometimes, you need to do it 10 times to really feel comfortable. But that's a level of repetition and practice that we need to improve. Now, these features are also available in Microsoft Word. So if you're having any difficulty getting, accessing the Speechify app or any of the other apps, I can just share a document with you in Microsoft Word. So just a short text on Montreal. You can up any text that you're working with, but when you go to the review menu, you have read aloud. And it's the same feature. It will read it aloud. Recognition. Okay, so let me start here. I want it to read this text. Montreal. Montreal is the largest city in Canada's Quebec province. It's settled to the St. Lawrence River. And just to show you how it works, so you can pause and repeat as well. Now, what we have here in Microsoft Word as well is the other feature that I was talking about, automatic speech recognition. So this is really good in pronunciation if you want to practice the minimal pairs that they talk about in the MOOC. So words that sound very similar, but there's often one sound that is different, either a vowel or consonant. So, for example, I'm going to say the word. So you go back into your home menu and you have the dictate feature here. So you can check if your pronunciation is accurate for words that sound similar. So if I say, for example, the classic one is ship or sheep. Ship. Oops, sorry, put it in up there. I forgot to put my cursor. So it's just little technical things sometimes that we have to remember. I'll just switch it off. Of course, everything's giving trouble today. Okay, I'm going to close that and do it again. That will be easier. So I'll first... All right, let me try again. Okay, so my cursor's in the right place now. And I'll press the ship. Sheep. I'll turn it off now because it's gonna write absolutely everything I say. But just to show that you can check if your pronunciation is accurate for minimal pairs, especially. That's where it would be most useful. So those are the three tools: the Google Translate, Speechify or any text-to-speech on Microsoft Word or Natural Reader. But sometimes, the versions, the browser and apps, they're very limited, the free versions. Some people go for the paid versions, which is why I like Microsoft Word as well. It's there and you can use it. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Well, I have one.
Sure.
So the Speechify, I wasn't familiar with that.
So I used to use Natural Reader a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
But over the years, it's become progressively difficult using the free version. It's very difficult, very limited. You have fewer voices. Speechify is available in the browser and the app as well. And there's certain things you can do on the free version. Of course, if you use the paid version, you get more. But lots of opportunities and possibilities. I think the possibilities are endless with text-to-speech software. It just depends on how you use it. But I think it's very good for shadowing. It's really good for shadowing. Yeah.
And do you think that that this kind of technology that it keeps will keep developing?
It will. What I'm sad to see is that they keep raising the barrier in that the free versions become more and more limited, which is why I've just started recommending Microsoft Word because it's there. And it doesn't have all the flexibility of the text-to-speech programs, but it does give you the basics if you want to practice basic shadowing. With the text-to-speech apps and browser versions, you can you can choose different voices, different speeds, and that's very interesting. As we were saying, to help improve your listening, you can listen to different accents, speaking the same text, reading the same text. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I like. So thank you very much for your presentation, for sharing this.
You're welcome. My
Yes.
pleasure.
I like very much, so the different tools that are available, but also, as you were saying, that the Microsoft Word one, that is, freely accessible one, and that actually is a tool that that we can use with Microsoft Word that, maybe, or at least I hadn't thought of before. So that there are tools available that we can use that we were not thinking, and it may be anything to do with pronunciation, but that we can use for that purpose. Yeah, I think that's great. And so we're recording this this live session. So we're actually joined by quite a number of people on the live stream. But we're also recording the live session to make sure that other participants in the course who were not able to join us today, that they can hear the discussion regarding the comments that were made, but also this very useful information, the tools that are available, technological tools for practicing English pronunciation. Yes, thanks so much, Gina.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much again, Gina, for sharing your insight with us. And now Lara has a final message for everyone.
Yeah, I just wanted to, first of all, thanks very much all the, I could consider you all of my colleagues in this live session. So Sophie and Amanda, who have, been a great support in running the MOOC and being a mentor, answering questions or providing encouragement, helping out people in the course. Also, very much a big thank you to Gina for being a mentor in the course previously, whilst actually having all this experience already being an English teacher. And for sharing the tools that you shared with us. And thank you very much also Inessa for joining us today, and for the comments that you made, and also for sharing some of your experiences speaking and using English in Ukraine. To the people in the live stream, I asked if anyone online wanted to ask a question. I didn't find any questions in the chat, but you can still, in the course itself, ask questions. Maybe questions have arisen or will arise later following this live session or regarding some of the topics that we discussed regarding English pronunciation. And so for all of the students who could not be here today, so we try to pick a time that most people in the world can join, which seems to be around this time, although it's very early still where Gina is, and will be very late at the other parts of the world. But to the other students, I wanted to say I hope that you will be watching at least part of this live session when you have time. So it will appear on YouTube, the recording. Also, keep sending your comments, keep posting comments. I cannot emphasize enough that, of course, we will then try and help you regarding pronunciation matters, but it's also extremely valuable to the course, your input. And we're trying also ways for people to be able to interact more within the course, so not only with the content, but also with one another. So if anyone has an idea of how we could further improve this, those ideas would be very welcome. And otherwise, I wish you a nice remainder of the Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you to everyone who joined today. And if you've missed the live session, you can always watch it on YouTube. So it will be posted and readily available on YouTube to be seen. And please share this information with your fellow participants. Also, if you want to become a mentor in our next MOOC, don't forget to fill out the application form that can be found on step 4.3 in the MOOC. And on behalf of FU, Future Learn, and our team, we wish you good health and good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye bye. Thank you.
Recording stopped.